Good morning. Thank you for joining me in this morning mindfulness practice. My mentor, Bob Proctor, wrote quite a few books, and one of the books is The ABCs of Success. And in the A's, he talks about attitude, and attitude is our gift. I'm just going to read from this chapter because our attitude is so important. Attitude is everything. He taught me that attitude is a composite of our thoughts, our feelings, and our actions. He says, nature gave a wonderful gift to most of her little creatures, a gift we call protective coloring, so that the deer blends into the forest, the fish into the stream, and the bird into the tree. But from one notable creature was this gift withheld. The human creature stands out like a sore thumb on any sort of terrain. I believe this is because the human was given a much greater gift. You and I have the godlike power to make our surroundings change to fit us. Doesn't that sound profound, special? You have the ability to change the surroundings around you. When you change or improve as a person, your environment and surroundings change to reflect this improvement. Just as you can tell what a business is doing for a community by observing what the community is doing for the business, so can you, with a few notable exceptions, tell what a person is doing for the community by assessing what the community has done for the person. You can tell a lot about a person by carefully examining his or her environment. Contrary to popular belief, people are not the reflection of their environment nearly as much as we think. Environment is a reflection of the people. Change the people for the better, and the environment will change for the better. Watch one person change, and that person will leave his or her old environment and seek out a new one that more closely reflects their emerging being. I love that because I know that when you change your environment. When you become a different person, when you improve yourself, everything around you improves. I know that to be true, and it played out again this week. One of my clients said that she was able to calm and uplift her entire family in a hospital setting where everyone was talking about a relative that would never have surgery because he didn't take care of himself and he was too old, and they figured he was just going to die. And he had the surgery, and it was a great success. And my client just kept telling the family, it's in God's hands. It's going to work. It's okay. Everything happens at the right time. Imagine everything happens at the right time for you. Just knowing that as you continue to study, as you continue to improve yourself, you start to notice everyone around you. They're not so hostile. They're not so mean. They're not so complaining. They're reflecting your values, your integrity, your calm spirit. Bob Proctor goes on to say, our attitude is the environment we carry with us during the day. It proclaims to the world what we think of ourselves, and indicates the sort of person we have made up our minds to be. Have you made up your mind that you're going to be a person who is loving, caring, generous, calm, and peaceful? If you want calm and peace in your life, that comes from inside. You have to practice being calm and peaceful. You have to practice responding and not reacting. You see so much drama around the world, and people are overreacting, and you might say making mountains out of molehills. Everything is a crisis, a problem, a disaster. And the more fuel we add to the fire, the bigger the problem gets. But when you remain calm, when you remain calm under fire, things just settle down on their own. Bob Proctor says our attitude is the environment we carry with us during the day. It proclaims to the world what we think of ourselves and indicates the sort of person we have made up our minds to be. It is the person we will become. Yes, as we look at the fish, the bird, or the animals in the wild, we do marvel at how well nature has camouflaged them. But don't you think we should spend a little time being overwhelmed by our great gift of creative ability, and then do all we can to develop and utilize this ability? Our environment, the world in which we live and work, is a mirror of our attitudes and expectations. Your living is determined not so much by what life brings to you as by the attitude you bring to life. Not so much by what happens to you as by the way your mind looks at what happens. He goes on to talk about being right. That's right. It's right. He's right. She's right. Those words are echoed every day by millions of people. Once we decide we are right, an abundance of energy goes into defending our rightness. Have you ever noticed that? When you're right, how much energy you put into trying to convince the other person that they're wrong, that they should follow you, that they should believe you because you're right. If we look at a situation objectively, we will quickly become aware that we are never right. Our way may be a good way, it can be a valid way, it might even be a better way, but it will never be the right way. The minute you believe your way is the right way, that makes all other ways wrong. That attitude will quickly paralyze progress and shut down the creative juices. Bob Proctor says, "Permit me to make a suggestion. The next time you hear yourself saying, 'That's right,' or 'I'm right,' immediately correct yourself by repeating, 'That is a good way and I might act on it. However, there is a better way and I will look for it.' The first telephones were a good way, a better way, even a great way to communicate. However, history has proven that the first telephones were certainly not the best way to communicate." When he wrote this book, by comparison with the telephone system of that day, it was a terrible way to communicate. And now, not that many years later, we have cell phones, and not only are they a great way to communicate, they also allow us to Google information, to take pictures, to do so much more. And now artificial intelligence is improving on some language, some ways of communicating, but it's not the right way. It's just better than it was a couple of years ago, a couple of decades ago, or when the first telephone was invented. There is always a better way. So never say that you're right and cast your opinion in stone, because that takes away your ability to create, to think, to be open-minded for something better. In the book, The ABCs of Success, Bob Proctor said the basic concept holds true with everything we do, from healthcare to air travel. Think of your own business or industry and the role that you play in it. You could very easily be caught in the trap of doing your job the same way because you believe it is the right way. It may be effective, but there is always a better way. One small adjustment could improve your productivity 100%. Your way may be effective, it may be valid, but it's never right. There is a better way. Find it. Our attitude towards others determines their attitude toward us. No amount of experimentation can ever prove me right. A single experiment can prove me wrong. Honest disagreement is often a good sign of progress. Well, look at the changes around you. Look at how we're living in this day and age compared to a year ago, a decade ago, compared to 2020, compared to 1997 or 1983 or 1883. Life is in constant change and flux. It's always improving, and you can be improving every single day just by checking your attitude. What state of being are you in? What thoughts are running through your head? How are you thinking about yourself, your job, your family, the environment that you live in, the environment that you work in? What are you thinking about the healthcare system or air travel or the roadways? There's always a better way. Life is continuing to expand and change, and as we continue to expand and change and improve, we can help make our lives better, and better is a good word, and we can improve the lives of everyone around us by changing our attitude. Bob Proctor says to rise above. Rise above it. One of the most common reactions to frustration is aggression. Let someone drive in front of us and block our progress while we're rushing to an appointment, and our thin veneer of civilized behavior peels off with a blast on the horn or an angry shout. While aggression may be a direct and common reaction to frustration, the reaction itself often leads to additional sources of frustration, especially if it is another person who is the target of our aggression. The other person may hit back. Showing aggression at our police officer who pulls us over for not coming to a full stop may change the officer's decision from giving us a warning to giving us a ticket with a fine. The actions that you take, Your reactions send out a universal ripple, not only directly impacting the current situation, but your energy goes out into the universe and it affects what's coming back to you like a boomerang. What you put out is what comes back to you. What kind of day do you want to have? What kind of actions you want to put out? And what kind of reactions would you prefer from other people, from the environment, from the universe, from the universe in which you play a part? Bob says psychologists used to think that frustration automatically leads to aggression. Further research suggested that that was not true in all people or all cultures. If aggression is a learned response, it can be unlearned, and other more adaptive responses can be substituted. Sir Alec Guinness, the great actor of stage and screen, suggested an excellent substitute. Sir Guinness told a story of how his friend and fellow actor Sir Tyrone Guthrie had a phrase for everything that went wrong. Guinness said Guthrie used this phrase for everything from a toothache to a catastrophe, such as the loss of the company's costumes when they were on the road. It was just 3 simple words: rise above it. Rise above it. I'm sure you will agree, if we all faced our troubles in that frame of mind, many of those troubles would vanish, and the frustration that often accompanies our problems would disappear. Put that to the test today with the first problem you are faced with. Just say, rise above it. Repeat it aloud. Rise above it. Rise above it. Nothing can stop the man with the right mental attitude from achieving his goal. Nothing on earth can help the man with the wrong mental attitude. And Viktor Frankl said, everything can be taken from a man but one thing, the last of human freedoms, to choose one's attitude in any given set of circumstances, to choose one's own way. What do you choose today? What do you really want? It's your choice. You can say, no, it's hard and fast, it's black and white, it's here now, it's wrong. Maybe you need to relax a little bit and open up to possibilities. Just because a certain thing is the way it is now doesn't mean it was that way 10 years ago, a decade ago, 100 years ago, a millennium, and it's not going to be that way 10 years from now. It's not going to be that way 100 years from now. Everything is constantly changing. Maybe it's not changing fast enough for your liking, but the change starts from within. If you want to change your environment, you're not a tree. You can move. You're not handcuffed to a desk or another person or a financial situation. There is always a better way. How to find the better way and improvements is to calm your own mind, to relax your body, to stop running and pushing and grinding and busy, busy, busy. And the busier you are, the more imperative it is to take the time to slow down for a moment, to stop what you're doing, and to ask, is this what I really want? Is what I'm about to do going to get me to what I want? What do I want? I want a peaceful, loving relationship with my family. I want respect in my job. I want peace on earth. Well, you need peace in your heart. When you respond, you're in control. When you react, what's got you triggered is in control. The person who made you angry is in control. You've lost control of your thinking, of your good attitude, as soon as you react with frustration. This is a practice. You can decide that you're going to be calm, you're going to remain in control, you're going to have peace in your heart. You're going to look for the good in everything because there is good in everything. Michael Beckwith was a good friend of Bob Proctor's, and they were both in the movie The Secret. And he said, "It is what it is. Accept it. It will either control you or you will control it. Harvest the good. There's good in everything. Seek and you will find it. And forgive the rest." Forgiveness means to let go of completely, abandon, release it. And what did I say earlier? Did you write it down? Did you repeat it out loud? Rise above it. You could say you're going to be the bigger person in the situation, but however you want to word it, when your attitude rises above the common, the poor, the frustration, the having to be busy, 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 going about grinding and pushing and competing. And when you realize this is an infinite universe, you are a divine spark of energy. You are infinite. You can do or be or have anything you want. You have been gifted with an imagination. You have been gifted with an intellect. You are God's highest form of creation. You don't blend into the environment like a deer blends into the forest or a fish blends into the stream. You have been gifted with 6 mental faculties. You have a beautiful imagination. Use it. Create an idea in your mind. Create a beautiful picture of what you really want. And then you have the will. You can focus on that picture. You can hold it on the screen of your mind until you actually feel like you're there. You can choose to imagine a better world, a better feeling, a better attitude. This isn't all about physical solutions like improving the healthcare system and air travel, getting a better house, a nicer car. What do you really want? because the things that you want are things you want because you believe in having them, you're going to feel better. Well, the universe says you feel better, you act better, you believe, and then you see what you want. It all starts in your own mind. Your thinking, your thoughts go out into the invisible universe and magnetically attract to you what you're in harmony with. How is your attitude? When you change or improve as a person, your environment and surroundings change to reflect this improvement. Carefully examine your environment. Environment is a reflection of you. Change for the better, and the environment will change for the better. As you change, you leave your old environment. You seek out a new way of living, of being, of acting, of working, of treating other people. Our attitude is the environment we carry with us during the day. It proclaims to the world what we think of ourselves and indicates the sort of person we have made up our minds to be. It is the person we will become. So when you decide what you really want, when you know with all your heart what you really want, start acting that way. Start being that. Rise above the common, rise above the situation, rise above the frustration. Bring your energy up to a level of peace, harmony with the good that you desire. The best way that Bob Proctor teaches how to improve your attitude is through gratitude. If you have a pen and paper in front of you, write down 10 things that you are grateful for, truly grateful for, things that make your heart well and radiate love, that warm feeling that comes over you when you feel truly grateful. How special is it to be grateful? What can you be grateful for? Is it your income that is allowing you to pay your bills and buy the things that you want? Is it a special love interest in your life, your spouse, or a close friend? Maybe you get so overwhelmed with love for your pet, a dog or a cat, something that is so important to you. You can feel the unconditional love that comes from them. Write down, I am so happy and grateful. Write down 10 things that you are grateful for, because that really brings your attitude up. It allows you to rise above any little frustrations that you might encounter today. And while you're in that attitude of gratitude, in that feeling of the world is wonderful, send love to people who bother you. If no one's bothering you, wonderful. If you're bothering you, send love to yourself. If you have a lot of people that are bothering you, limit it to 3. I want you to take this beautiful attitude into the day today. Create a wonderful day. See if you can take this wonderful attitude of gratitude through the weekend. And I'll see you back here Monday morning at 7. Thank you.